Yes, sir.
Okay. So in today's session, we have already given you some three case studies. So in every practical, we will discuss at least one of them, and it is expected that you will prepare a report on these three case studies, which is not optional. It is mandatory that you should do some work on it. Today we will highlight what is exactly to do with the subject and how you formulate the case studies. Now, I just share one of the link of which is available for analysis. Now let us see example of the case studies. FDS case study, and we have one link over here, and let us put it. I'll share the screen with you so that you will be able to view what exactly information you must gather. So I'll just sharing the entire screen with you. Yes, participants able to view the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is Darwin's AI deep learning algorithm, which was developed by Darwin based on AI, that is artificial intelligence, and it is a screening tool that helps detection of COVID-19. So such kind of articles are published on the net. You have to search them and gather variable information and conduct a survey. So this is a sample example over here, which you can see. It is published by Intel, and it is having some topic. So you can see that this is a topic. Don't go too much deep into it, but you should know what is happening all around in AI world or artificial intelligence or computation itself. So over here you can see the detailed survey, or it is very brief survey on COVID-19. You can see this. So this is what a report must be developed as far as the surveys is been concerned or case study must be concerned, and you should give proper references from where the data is being collected for your submission, that what was the source of information which you provided to generate the report. Everyone able to view? Yes, participants. So you can view the impact of that a particular and there is some x-rays for patients, and you can see there are, this is CXR image which is being given as an input to the AI system, and it may result whether a patient is impacted or not. Purpose, and here is the network information or basic architecture which is being designed. So it is COVIDNet. You can see COVIDNet CT2 architecture design. So it is one of the concept of machine learning which is being applied over here to detect whether a particular patient is impacted or not or affected or not, and such report is available. So this is one of the sample where I have given you for case study purpose. You can see the parameters which are most important. So comparison parameters. Floating point operations per second and accuracy as per the image input has been concerned. So it is given you the accuracy of a particular algorithm. So what information it gives us, that based on a particular architecture. So here there are various architectures you can see for medical analysis or healthcare analysis. So these are the various algorithms. One of them is now COVID-net CT. The parameters over here is been given, then the flops, that is floating point operations per second, and the accuracy of the system is 99.1. So you can develop your own system or you can study one of the medical algorithms based on this survey techniques. Therefore, to learn additional knowledge, or we can say enhanced knowledge, the case studies are being given to you. Okay, and thus you can give the references. So you can see that it is been developed by Intel, and you can use the reference for in your thesis to specify your discussion about a particular case study. Now, I will share the link in the chat box so you can download or you can see that resources. Everyone getting this? So you can copy the contents and the resources you can learn or study, but don't put it yourself. Put the references wherever you got it, and share your own views after studying the particular algorithm. Yes, participants, did you by reading this article you will get how case studies are to be performed. Now another article will see you what is our analysis. So see, we have got this analysis from some references. So there is a reference over here for developing the article. So it is WHO reference. Are you able to see in the Excel sheet? There is a reference over here. Yes, participants. So this is WHO site. So from that you can get some practical details of the COVID-19. Now let us look about some data collected from this site. So it is number of infected as on date, confirmed cases. It was example is 75,000. Peak date. So at which the data was COVID cases were more is 2002 February 2020, and average infected suspected ratio, it was given as 2.399, and down flow rate was been not specified. So these are some of the things, number of positive articles, number of negative articles. So what is this happened? It is based on the media. So how the media represent a particular case will impact all the external parameters. For example, if the media publish positive articles about the COVID-19 situation, that it is improving day by day in our country, the rate of recovery is very high, then that article is classified as positive article. Everyone getting what is positive article? Okay, so whenever you are doing a survey or getting a case study, you have to collect positive articles and negative articles. So negative article is the one which is showing that there is lots of death rate is very high, or the number of persons which are infecting per day is very high. So false or it may be true. So there are two types of articles, positive article and negative article. So as you go into the survey, you have to collect this information, that how many articles you have gone. So I recommend at least in the beginning you should go at least for 5 articles. We can give the references that in this article we find that the COVID situation was improving in this, and that shows positive effect on the people, and some shows the negative effect on the people. So this was The found now what is the downflow rate? So cases was starting reducing that. So that was the downflow rate. So we have a model that is suspected exposed infection recovered predicting model. So this was a basic model that was being used for predicting purpose. We are talking about predicting, not into details. Okay. So now suspectable, likely to be infected. There was a ratio given then expected exposed to the virus that may be infected. Okay. They are exposed but not declared as infected. Now, active cases, so this can be getted from the current data we have just filled it, recovered, we got some value y, and now last one is this was the rate at which it is being growing. Now, assume that the city population is something like this. So these formulas were predicted, and based on that, some results are being estimated. So you can see that how this result has been estimated. What is this result are dependent? So I'll tell you one thing very important. Assume that a person is infected, one person is infected in the country itself. So he will take some medications. Do you agree with that? Yes, participants? Just say if one person is infected, so will he take undergo medical expenses, or he will go some, what you can say, medical treatment? Okay, so it is expected that if one person is going to take some medical expenses, it may happen that his monthly expenses on the particular cost of treatment. So we can say the cost of treatment for that person is only 5. Instead of 5, we can make it 5k. I'll just make it 5, but it is 5k in fact. So what is happens, see over here the parameters. As soon as I change for number of patients that were infected is 2, and the total cost is, okay. So now let us see, my cost of treatment for one person is 1000 rupees. What will happen? So if two persons are infected in my country in 1 month, after 10 months, my cost will be this much. Are you getting? Yes, participants.
Yes,
So
sir.
this prediction will see will declare the impact of COVID-19 on the economy of the country. We have solved the problem. This this is where the growth rate was 2.3. Yes, it is nothing but a polynomial. Everyone getting this? Nothing but the polynomial where the polynomial concepts we are learning into your DSA. Okay, so linked list representation as a polynomial, or we can say array representation in polynomial. So that applies over here, and therefore we have seen that x is equal to 5. So 2x is equal to 2 multiplied by 5 plus 1 into 5 raised to 2. So that is power of 2x square, and we can say this is x cube. So we can predict the total cost over here. If the cost of over here I put it 5, you can predict it is 95. That is the total cost. So where is this 95 you are finding? Then here it is we are having some parameters, that is where is x square. So you can see 5x is equal over here is x square. So first parameter is 2x. So you will see 2x. Then second parameter is 1 into 2 raised to x square, and third parameter is 0.48 into x square, x cube. So we are getting it 60. So you can see this. These are matching. Are you able to see? 25, which is matching over here, and then 10. So this is a cost prediction model. So I have calculated that after 10 months that will be the cost over here. So this is nothing but a polynomial model. Everyone getting this? Yes, participants? See, over here what is x? x ये पॉलिनोमियल है हमारा, इतना तो समझ रहा है? यस पार्टिसिपेंट्स, इतना समझ रहा है क्या? Okay, I'll make it little bigger. Now able to see it? Okay, how this polynomial is being derived, we will talk upon that. So it will be more clearer for you. Okay, so this is the polynomial, how it is developed. So this is the 2 is the constant parameter which is been involved. How is 2? So over here it is number of persons that were infected. So number of persons that were infected is 2, and x value is the cost of a particular infected person. So it is 2x. Okay. Now suppose we are moving to second time over here. So it is second order polynomial, and the expected number of persons are 5. So 5 into the cost, we are getting 25, and therefore it is 1 into x raised to 25. So we get the second model over here. Finally, the third one, so we are getting 0.48 into x raised to 3, and we get his final answer is 60. So we put it 60 over here. The total sum of this is 95. So that is my cost of these three polynomial. That means if I raise to stage 3 over here, that is third month, my cost will be 95. Everyone getting the concept of polynomial implementation of cost estimation of impact of COVID-19? Yes, participants, any questions from your side? You can develop your own model based on the case studies. I have developed my own model for this, and you can present whatever the impact of this per person on the economy of a particular state or country, or you can say a particular region, and you can finally conclude it. So I conclude it over here. We can represent the economical impact using polynomial, and we have proved it using the model. Yes, participants? Is it okay? Or any questions from your side? So when this we get the formula, that is, this is the formula we have got it. So if it is increased, so what is happen if it is x raised to 4? So over here we get what is x raised to 4. And if in the fourth month, what will be my cost? It will be calculated over here, and it will be easily, we can write the simple program if what will happen if I reach to fourth month, and what will be the impact of economy on my pocket of the state or country. So this is the basic implementation. As per as status, what you can say, don't go into deeper of implementation, but first understand that we only want to demonstrate one thing, that is, we can implement a model that will give you the economical impact of a particular situation using polynomial representation. So that was the conclusion. Yes, is it okay? So what is expected? Go through the case study seriously, and I assure you, you can achieve lots of things if you go through case studies. Not only what you have done with your model, your report should be in such a way that you can mold the model into a program. So over here, I have just used the Excel, but you can use C programs to even model the given concept. Fine. Now let us come to our regular subject, that is, we are going to work on linked list. So I am sharing one of the codes for linked list, and just put it up. Okay, so these references or this concern with assign data first, I'll just remove it. Okay, this is the head node, and then okay, able to see the screen, participants? Present now. Okay. Yes, participants are able to view the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so over here it is we have has to include the iStream, and iStream is for input purpose, and we are using the standard namespace. This were as per as Linux is been concerned. So this program is written for Linux purpose. We are using the class node. You can give the node name, and we have the data and the next node. So we are just creating a link, what we can say, single linked list. Now let us go for printing the linked list. So you print the list over here, while h not equal to null, cout h arrow data, and h is equal to h arrow next. So it is just a traversing program where we are going to print it. You can this is very common for just moving from the head node. So this head node is been passed over here. Now adding or appending nodes to the linked list. So as we know that the linked list has two nodes like head node and the end node. So we put an input as head node and end node, and T is the new node which are going to add it. Now over here, if head equal to null, that means there is no head node, then head node is equal to T, and end is equal to head node. So we know that if it is the first node to be created, then the end and the first will be the same, and therefore the end is always terminated by null. So end arrow next is equal to null. So this is where we are inserting the head node. Now assume that you have inserted the head node and you have to append a new node. So this is the easy step. We create a temporary node and store the end node as temp, and a simple statement end arrow next is equal to T, end is equal to temporary, and end arrow next is equal to null. This part is successful, we say it is appended. So what is appended? We just put what is appended over here. So it is end arrow data. So end arrow data is appended. Now once we append something, we should give a message that is node is added, and finally we return the end. So once we get the end pointer, we can get it work for us. Now let us see how to define the head nodes. Node pointer. So this asterisk should read as it is a pointer or value of. So node pointer is equal to null. So initially head node is null. Because no data has been added to it, we create another node that is end, we create another node that is temp. Then for head node is the first node, so therefore we create the second node, third node, and fourth node. So totally we are adding 4 nodes and all the values of them are null. So this is the basic declaration of how a head nodes or nodes are being created. See, initially nodes are created but they are not linked. Remember that. So yesterday we studied that nodes are created and they are linked. So how to allocate them? So here we created the head node. Head is equal to new node. Second is equal to new node. Third is equal to new node. So what we have done? New keyword. Do you remember yesterday session? What is the new keyword doing? Yes, participant. What is the use of new keyword? The new keyword is allocating memory to the pointer dynamically. So we have 2 keywords for that. One is the new and another is the malloc. So you should remember that whenever we are using new keyword, that means it is allocating memory in the RAM, and that is head is equal to new node. So how much memory is to be allocated? It is based on the size of the node. So over here, what is the size of the node? See over here, it is data, integer data type and the pointer. So it contains integer data type, maybe of 2 bytes or 4 bytes, and the next pointer. So pointer will take some memory. So over here, first step, we have just declared that we are going to create nodes. Now over here, we are allocating the memory. So I write it over here, dynamic memory allocation. Dynamic memory allocation to a particular node. So how many nodes are there? Head node is there, second node is there, third node, fourth node, temporary node, end node. So what we say over here, we should temp is equal to head. So temporary node, we store the head information or head node data into the temporary variable. Now assign data to the head node. So head arrow data is equal to 1. So we have assigned the data to it. Then we set the head arrow next is equal to null. So whenever we insert the data and we set the node arrow next is equal to null, created the null success. So first was declaration of the nodes, dynamic memory allocation. Third step is assign data to nodes. Okay, and terminate it by null. So this is a null pointer. We are terminated by null. So whenever these two steps are being created, which it is meaning that the node is successfully created and assign the data. Now next is, since we have created the first node, we say end is equal to head node. And finally, our add node is returning the end node. Therefore, we say end is equal to add node. Inside parameter is head, end, and head. So we are adding the first node to our linked list. Everyone getting this? So over here we are adding the first node to the linked list. Then again we create the second node by adding the data and setting its value. Then add this second node to the linked list. So again my end is going to be modified. Therefore add node will return the endpoint. So this will be the faster operations. Similarly, we are going to add the third node. Like this, add node the fourth one, and finally we'll print the list, that is the navigation or traversal of the list, by passing the head node. And then naturally we that the linked list is going to terminated by the end node. So let us see. I'll run the program. So you can see it has shown that appended 1 node added, appended 2 node added, append 3 node added, and appended 4 node added. So when the print list function is been called, I'll just modify it with simple statement. So put cout again, run the program and see, check it out. You can see the output is over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, we have added these values. You can take these values by using cin also, but over here the argument is say standard input. I have to take a different way. So it is online compiler. I am not taking using cin for this. So I am directly allocating data over here. Instead of cin, I am using 1, 2, 3, 4 directly. So you can also set the data as integer value you fill and check out with the program. So let us run it. You can see the nodes are being added. Search within the linked list that is been kept to you. You try it, and then in the next we will discuss about how this can be implemented. That is insertion, deletion, and searching operation on the linked list. So today I will give you the code. Simple linked list. It is for study purpose only. Okay. Yes, everyone. If there is some problem with the code, you can try with Turbo C program. If it is online compiler is working, you can see you can use this one compiler for execution of this code, or you can use your Turbo C for writing this code and execution. So everyone got the code? Yes, participants. पार्ट एलएसटी के बाद में जो है वो मिसिंग है. Okay, so from here it is you are getting little code is deleted. Yes. Now in the chat box you can find that the entire code is given, so you can check it online. So use this code for study purpose, and you can develop your assignment. So which assignment is to be developed on the code is this one. Over here it is expected that we should create a doubly linked list. So you can see assignment C1, which is concerned that the ticket booking system of SignMax Theater has to be implemented using C++ program. There are 10 rows and 7 seats in each row. Doubly circular linked list has to be maintained to keep track of free seats at row. Assume some random booking to start with using array to store pointers. Now over here you can see that it is clearly specified head pointers. So you can use head pointer and tail pointers also. So head pointer is nothing but a tabulation created. We will stimulate it. What is it? Now in each row on demand. And what you have to do? List available seats to be displayed. Then third, seats are to be booked. Which seats can be booked and which can be booked, the status of the state books, booking status, and if any seat is been booked, that can be cancelled. So these three problem statements. Once we say cancellation of booking, so you can see the data of the linked list must be deleted. So it should free that node. Then number of seat books. So it will display the count of number of seats that were been booked, and list the available seats should be displayed. So this is all you have to perform using the linked list. So I recommend you, all of you, instead of directly studying doubly circular linked list, first study single linked list, then we'll study circular linked list, and then we'll go for doubly linked list. So step by step, we are going to learn all the concepts, and then we'll perform this assignment. Any question, participants, on linked list? Okay. Second program which is been expected for linked list is this: write a C++ program to store binary numbers using doubly linked list, and you have to compute the ones complement and twos complement of them and add two binary numbers. So the binary numbers may be positive number or negative number, and therefore we will require these twos complements for addition and subtraction purpose. Fine. So this will be the second program which will be working in this upcoming sessions. For tomorrow, any one of you who will prepare the presentation, who has prepared the presentation upon the 3 case studies, can present tomorrow. Has anybody done that? So if it's not done, take it seriously, make at least 2-page or 4-page report, and put proper references in that. So if references are good, you are a true author. If you don't give references, then yeah, the author is in question. So over here it is expected that wherever you collect the information, you must give the references, so that the author which is original will get the credits for that. So that is the thing. Fine. So is there any question on today's session? Yes, participants? You can give the attendance over here. I'll just share you the code for DSA attendance. Code for DSA attendance CO04/12. So participants, you can study the given link on case studies. I have given you how to, you can study that, how to formulate the case study and write some good papers. So you will learn technical writing also by these studies. So if you don't have any questions, then give the attendance with the code C00412. Yes, participants, again I am asking, any questions, or shall we terminate the session? Okay, we'll terminate the session. You try the linked list code also, and let me know tomorrow. Okay.